I'm Adam Britt with QB365, and this is episode number 9 of The Breakdown. Guys, this episode is a case study of online quarterback development. A guy named Colin from Maryland, about almost exactly 2 months ago today, emailed me and wanted me to take a look at his throwing motion. Okay, wanted to see what I would change, if I could help him. And in 2 months, he's made a really great transformation from a kid that just threw a football into a kid that looks like a quarterback. So let's take a look. First video he sent me looked like he was in his basement or garage, probably cold in Maryland in March. Didn't have a lot of room, but I thought it was really cool. It reminded me when I was real young and I was chipping golf balls all over the house into the couch and things like that, because the lack of daylight wasn't going to stop me from continuing to get a little bit better. That's what he wanted to do. He didn't want to wait until the next day. He wanted to get his phone and take a video of his throw motion so I could get right back to him. And obviously there's a few things that he needed to work on, you can see here. So here's what I told him. Hey Colin, thanks for sending this to me. A couple things I got for you. I would try to drop the ball a little bit, and when I say drop the ball, just kind of relax your shoulders. When you do that and relax your upper body, that ball tends to want to go more to a natural place. And then from here, I think that'll help you, because from here, see how right in there, there's still a good amount of space right there between the wrist and the elbow. I kind of want that to go away. So watch how your arms and hands specifically go this way. And that really opens up your chest. You can see how your chest is starting to open up, which is pulling you open right there, pulling the arm through. Ideally, let's try to go here with it, with those hands and arms. That'll get us in a good place to keep the front side under control, and then the arm can just continue that path and go to the target. The last thing I need you to do is start to get that back foot to come around. If you were going to throw this any harder, our posture would be really hard to keep vertical, and we'd want to bend over a little bit. It also keeps you from turning as well as you'd like. See how the shoulders stop there? I want you to be able to turn all the way through. If that back foot's all the way back there, it's going to be tough. And then a couple days later, he'd watched the video analysis that I sent him. He finally got outside, added a 3-step drop with this since he got outside a little more room. Still says the same type of things that we talked about, but broke this one down, kind of told him where to go from there. Okay, Colin, same kind of things that we talked about in the first video, except now we got to get the footwork under control a little bit. We just got way too big a crossover right here. We're out of control. The back foot's way outside the hip, and now we're just kind of stuck. We get that long stride right here, so it's going to be really tough to get any power. Now, because it's a farther throw, you can see that front hand, the shoulders have tilted a little bit, and the front hand's getting really high. So you can see just quite how out of whack you are. Even if this is you're putting some air under it, we don't want this much, and it's because of the front hand and the really wide stride. It's the same thing, that back foot's staying back there, and now you see because it's a farther throw, we have lost that posture a little bit. We're leaning toward the target. So just got to keep working on what we've been talking about. So a few days later, he's had some time to work with this a little bit. Emails me back, says that he's having a little trouble with the spiral. The ball's got a lot of arc to it, and a lot of times it's going to the ground too quick. So looked over the video, sent this to him to talk about how to try to fix that. Okay, man, first off, this right here is really good. That's a big change, and that's impressive. If we can get the front arm to match that, we'd be set. See how the hand's below the elbow? Much rather like the front hand more in here, so that hands and wrists, wrist and elbows pretty much end up in that straight line. That would be ideal. You see how the front hand kind of gets in front and then has to go up, and that kind of helps pull that front side up. The big thing, though, the reason we're really having trouble with our ball flight is the big stride. The hips can't get to that front foot very well. Chest is leading, And you see a couple things here. You can see the front leg snapping straight and pushing your hips back. See the ball's barely out of your hand right here. And so now the chest is going to have to work forward a little bit. So what does that mean your arm's going to have to do? It's going to have to go down. That's what makes it very hard for you to control the ball and spin the ball. You see on this one, the ball just kind of came out of your hand way too early. Okay, again, that back foot too needs to come around. Okay, go work on that. A few more days, get another video for him. He's done a lot of good work here this time. He's shortened up that stride a little bit. Okay, the front leg's not snapping backwards as much as it was. He's not opening up his chest quite as much. The arm's starting to get closer to where it needs to be in front of his body. And he's gone totally on the other end of the spectrum with that back foot. It's come all the way around now and it's gone too far. He's over rotating a little bit. And I told him, see in the email, that I was perfectly okay with him doing that for another couple weeks, just to really build that into his brain, into his motion, okay, into his muscle memory, as they say. All right, just to get that power through there. Here's the next thing that he sent me. So you can see in a few more days, he's totally, at least in this particular throw, he's totally fixed the over rotation. The hips are stopping a little sooner. The upper body's really rotating through better. He's not falling in front. With that over rotation of the lower body, tends to get the weight on the front toe. That makes you want to tilt. Obviously, you're off balance at the finish. And now, at least in this one, like I said, totally gone. It's really, really good right here. Is he able to consistently do that? I don't know. I can only go by what he sends me. But the next thing that I really saw that he needed to work on is the front leg. The stride's getting shorter, so he's in a position to do this, but now he's really got to keep the hips a little bit lower through, stay loaded in that front leg as he turns over that front leg instead of trying to generate more power coming off that front leg. Because any more power that you may get, you're really going to handcuff you, because when you snap that front leg, it's really easy for the hips to go back and the chest to go forward, and you're going to lose that trajectory control, and the ball's going to want to die on you or float. So another few days go by. Yes, the kid's persistent, but how do you think you get better? You got to stick with it. You got to have some consistency to this. He sees another one of my videos talking about release time. He wants to know what his release time is, so he sends me a video. I go over his release time, show him what it is, and then show him a couple ways to get it a little bit lower. Okay, man, you are at 0.56. Need to bring that down a little bit. It's not crazy high, but we need to bring it down a little bit. The goal is always 0.4 or better. A couple things you can do. Say you've kind of gone the other way. See how the elbow's starting to get above the nose of the ball, or above the ball. That's just going to take a little bit more time for it to get back over the elbow before it goes forward. And then we're getting a little wide. It's not a big deal. I got plenty of guys that get a little wide that still have really fast release times. But the big thing is, from right in here, get that arm through right now. Don't wait or try to pull it back to the L position. The L is not the goal. The L is just a byproduct of the arm path. So as you take it back, shoot it through as fast as you can. Just be careful that chest is starting to lead again. Arms pulling down really hard. Legs straightening out. Keep working on that as well. Couple days later, sends me another video. He worked on what I talked about on getting his release time down, and he did a pretty dang good job. Pretty impressive. All right, some good improvement here. A little bit better there, taking it back. That elbow's more behind the ball. You tighten up the L a little bit, and you got through a little bit faster. Now you're at 0.46, so you brought it down 1/10 of a second. That's pretty good. We get it down 1 more 1/10 of a second, and you're perfect. So keep that going. Arm got through a little bit better. The better extension right there. The front knee is solid, more stable now. That's good. Just make sure you're not on your midline with that front leg right there, because that back foot's starting to creep up on you. That might have just been a one-off throw here, but don't want that thing to pop up. Want to stay low and a little bit level. So after that, it's a few weeks until I hear from him again. I was a little worried, but apparently he's fine. Weather wasn't too good, couldn't get out of the house, whatever, but he's okay. I was relieved. So here's the last video. 2 months of work on his part. I'd say the final product, but obviously we're going to continue to keep working with it. Always keep tweaking, making sure that no bad habits are formed, and if they do, we nip that in the bud as quickly as possible so they're not really dug in there. So take a look at this, and then we'll look at this versus the video of his throwing form 2 months ago. So here's his final video. The drop is way more under control than the one we've seen before. Very good initial separation. He's actually fixed the front hand a little bit too. It's not quite as low as it was there for a little while. Very good L position. The one thing we will work on is the nose being a little down. We don't want that nose to be down. We want it to be a little bit more up. But you can tell he's got more body control. The arm's getting through better. And then the posture is staying pretty vertical. The back foot is come to the front foot, but isn't getting well in front. And there's just a little bit, but not too bad, of straightening of that front leg. It's straightening, but it's way more vertical than going backwards. So a lot of improvement here. And here is the before and after, side by side. In the before, you can tell the crossover's really too wide. The back foot's way outside the hip. Here he's way more under control. He's not getting as much depth, but who cares if you can't throw the ball well, how much depth you're getting. From the initial separation, you see it's a big difference here. Look at the width of his stride compared to here. The shoulders aren't nearly as tilted up. Much better positions here. As he comes through, you see the elbow is really high, which is going to produce a really early release point. Now he's lower. He's got a better attack angle through. And then the finish, the arm has to go straight down. Back foot's way behind. He's losing his posture here. And here he could extend way better. See that extension of the arm, driving the football, keeps the posture a little bit better. The back foot comes around but doesn't go too far. Big difference in just 2 months. So pretty impressive transformation. I thought enough of it to make a whole video about it. And what should you get out of it? Well, you have no excuses. This thing right here opens up your world. 10 years ago, if I wanted to do video analysis, I'd need a laptop, a camcorder, a FireWire, a whole bunch of crap that I don't need anymore. Okay? If you have a phone, and unless it's a flip phone, which even those will probably do it to a degree, okay? Everybody's got a smartphone. Video yourself. Send it to someone you trust. If it's not me, find somebody that knows what they're talking about. I don't care. That's okay as long as you're getting better and you're throwing better. But right now, when you're either sitting on the couch or you're just throwing to throw with no idea what you're working on, no rhyme or reason to anything, you're just working on your 3-step drop and maybe putting a speed ladder down to do some icky shuffles on, how much are you actually getting better? If you've got bad habits, and you just keep repeating those, you're actually getting worse. So the platform that I've used for over a year now to really level up the online training is called Edify. It's an app, and you got to think of it like Facebook for quarterbacks. Everyone has their own page that no one can see unless you allow them to see it. So you could put all the videos up there, and only myself or any other coach or other quarterback, athlete, parent, whoever that you allow could see those videos. So you get unlimited video analysis all through the year. I also have my own pages, main page. I've got a throwing mechanics page and a body and mind page with a little bit of the mental aspect of playing quarterback. and the body side, which is a lot of arm care, a lot of exercises that you won't get in a normal weight training class in high school. I've got Coach Brett Cummings, who's a strength and conditioning performance coach that can answer any questions you might have. We're posting exercises regularly on there. And you also get access to a pretty cool growing community of quarterbacks, coaches, parents, people that can help you through the whole process, other than just the throwing mechanics, the recruiting side, the gaining weight side, the getting faster, where to spend your money, things like that. You can ask those questions, and there's going to be people on there that have been in your shoes. So if you're interested, link below. Do you have to sign up for me to analyze your film anymore? No, keep shipping that over. I'll be happy to continue to do that. But if you feel like you get a great value out of it, honestly, a year of it, it's only $10 a month. A year is less than an hour with me one-on-one. So it's a great value. And thank you so much for watching the videos. The views are picking up on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, please do. That helps me out a lot. And continue to share with any other quarterback, parent, coach that you think this might bring value to. So thanks again, guys. And until I see you again, y'all go out there and throw better. You hear?